Hi everyone, I've waited ages for this moment and at last I've been tagged as part of the tagging game. I've been tagged by Hop for formaldehyde, so thanks Hop. So my 5 facts about me that you probably don't know. Okay, the first fact is, when I was at nursery school, I went to school with one of the members of the British royal family. And she was quite a young girl then, I won't say her name. She's not one of the main senior ones, but she lived at Kensington Palace. And I remember one time, there used to be a military tattoo in London in Earl's Court called the Royal Tournament. And I went as one of her guests. And I remember, because her parents were going to sit on the royal box as the honoured guests that week or that day, and I remember, I have some memories of it, and I remember us leaving Kensington Palace. We were, I think, in limousines, and I remember the police outriders on their motorbikes, and I think there was a police car in front, and I remember, I think there were sirens going, and I remember us racing through the traffic. They'd stopped the traffic for us. I think the royal family's changed slightly now, scaled down a bit, but I remember roaring through the traffic in our police motorcade, and then we sat in the royal box, and I remember the national anthem being sung, and her parents standing up for it, and I was scared of the bangs. Nothing's changed. And I remember a policewoman in uniform took me out and I went behind the scenes of the Royal Tournament. I met the soldiers, I looked at the horses, and when the bangs were over I came back in. So that was my touch of royal fame, sitting in the royal box with the members of the royal family. The second one is very similar and linked to that. When I started secondary school at the age of 13, I was at secondary school from 13 to 16, and between 13 and 15 I went to school in the same building, not the same school but in the same building as Prince Harry, who was at Wetherby. I was at Kensington Park School. Wetherby was I think a primary school. There's a pre-prep school as well, and this was between 1990 and 1992, and I remember Princess Diana used to take him to school almost every day. So people used to say, "Oh, Princess Diana," but we got used to it. She was there almost every day, and if she wasn't there, occasionally Prince Charles would take him to school, but it became so normal for us to sort of see Princess Diana. And it was during the time when Princess Diana and Prince Charles separated, and I remember all the paparazzi outside the school. Every time we left, they'd take photos, and I would say, "Oh, I hope we're going to be in the paper." Of course, no chance. Do I look like Prince Harry? Don't go there. So that was very interesting. I remember when we went to school every day, the detectives used to have to check our bags and all of that. I've got some great stories to tell, but I won't, because I'm not one for gossip, heaven forbid. My third fact is I went to Cuba about 7 years ago. I drove around Cuba for about 2 weeks, and I was in Havana, and we met some locals. Not for those reasons, we just met some locals who were showing us around the city. And in Cuba it was illegal, it may still be at the time, to have local Cubans in your car if you're a tourist. And the police obviously saw this because we had a hire car and there are Cubans in there, and we got stopped by about 7 police officers who surrounded us, and we all had to get out of the car, and we almost went to the police station. I remember having to lean up against the Cuban police car, and I love a good drama, I love a good story. You know, you can have a great journey, that's brilliant. Have a bad journey, you've got a great story to tell, something exciting. And so we had to put our arms on the car and everything, and just when I thought it was getting exciting, we were going to be dragged to the police station, make the news or whatever, the senior officer came and said, let him go, they're just tourists. So he got out of that one. But I would have quite enjoyed being arrested, I've got to say. Would have gone back for more the next day. My fourth fact is I work as an extra on Australian television where I live at the moment. I mainly work on Home and Away and All Saints. They're Australian soap operas here in Australia, Sydney where I live, on Channel 7. So that's great fun, you get to meet the actors and everything. Wouldn't swap it for the world. And my final fact is I did my postgrad in broadcast journalism. So for the last 10 years or so I've worked in radio, mainly as a newsreader as well as a reporter. Lately I've done more presenting on radio here in Australia, which I've really enjoyed, as well as reading talking books for the blind. So who am I going to tag? Well, I'm going to tag the following people. Those are my 5 facts, by the way. Loads more, but I thought I'd get you done for starters. I'm going to tag Josette54, Esoteric Online Radio, Chopper79, Miss Aussie Bear, and Gigolo8. Just go through those names again. Josette54, Esoteric Online Radio, Chopper79, Mrs. Aussie Bear, and Gigolo8. Now I've chosen those people because, yes, they are some of my favourites. There were some people I haven't chosen, not because I don't like them, but I've chosen people who regularly leave videos. So I don't want anybody to have to go out of their way. But please do leave a video if you've just been mentioned, on whatever side, I'm not quite sure. There should also be the links and everything with those people's names. But those are my 5 facts, hope you enjoyed them, and I look forward very much to hearing yours. Take care, talk to you soon, bye bye.